It's spring in the year. Plants are growing, air is warming up. In the farming community, this is the growing season beginning, with one less farmer and many less acres to plant, and less money in their pockets than the year before. These things are contributing to the decrease in U.S. farmers. This impacts everyone because if you have clothes on, or you have eaten this day, you depend on multiple farmers because our lives rely on farm production. Today I'm going to be informing my audience about the causes of the decline of U.S. farmers. To be able to inform you, I will explain to you in 3 main points. First, the increase of urbanization and the demand for land. Second, the lack of young people willing to take on the task of farming. And third, the slow decline of income for farmers due to poor legislation. First, I will start by informing you about the increase of urbanization and the demand for land. There has been an increase in urbanization. This has caused a loss in farmland. Landowners do not want to sell or rent land to farmers because they want to sell and rent to big construction companies who will pay higher for the land to make it into homes. According to the Agriculture, Land Loss and Conservation, California has approximately 100 million acres of land and about 3.4 million acres of land in California agriculture counties are now urbanized. Farmers are unable to rent land for agricultural purpose. Here in Tracy, there is a family, the Abate family, that would plant tomatoes every year in Tracy, but last year they weren't able to plant because the owner of the land wanted to rent the land for $20,000 an acre instead of $2,000 an acre how it used to be. According to the California Department of Food and Agriculture, home construction consumes an average of 40,000 acres of agriculture land each year. Now that I told you about the increase of urbanization and the demand for land, now I'll talk to you about the lack of young people willing to take on the task of farming. People in this generation are not interested in the hard work that it requires to be a farmer. Many older farmers are passing by and there is no one left to inherit their operations. This is why the decline of farmers in the U.S. is growing. According to the Farm Progress, the average age of an American farmer is 58 years old. Some questions that we should ask ourselves are, why are farmers not entering this industry? Where will our food come from whenever no more is being grown domestically? How will we afford to import the things necessary to sustain the population when all the farms are gone? What can we do to bring farming back to normal? Now that I told you about the lack of young people willing to take on the task of farming, I will talk to you about the slow decline of income for farmers due to poor legislation. Just like many other corporations, farming heavily relies on the government for setting prices on commodities or produce. It is impossible for farmers to work and produce if there is no funding to be able to break even or no funding to be able to make a profit at the end of each growing year. According to the Oklahoma Watch, the U.S. and China are still engaged in a trade war that resulted in several rounds of retaliating tariffs affecting U.S. agriculture products. Whenever there are acts for farmers are put into place, these acts work in favor for big-scale farms because it is easier for the government to monitor them. In conclusion, the American food supply seems to be keeping with the population. The country will feel the negative effect as farmers decline. Many cities have been pushed outward, taking over much of the fertile land. The people of Congress that are refusing bills that could fix this are also not helping the farmers. All these things are forcing operations that have been running for generations to close down. And as a result of all these things, there are fewer people interested in agriculture. I informed you about the increase of urbanization and the demand for land, the lack of young people willing to take on the task of farming, and the slow decline of income for farmers due to poor legislation. So next time you see a farmer and his tractor, or you are eating something, just remember to thank a farmer.